You're listening to audio from round 6 of the 2022 Kickoff Western Supersite. This game features Barrington from Illinois and also Buffalo Grove from Illinois. Your moderator is Sam Wong.
Hi, I'm Rohan from Buffalo Grove, and my favorite burger at the Gargus Fargus is the garlic burger.
I'm Lucas from Buffalo Grove, and my favorite burger at the Gargus Fargus is the garlic burger.
I am Joe from Buffalo Grove, and my favorite food at Gargus Fargus is the garlic burger.
Barrington. I'm Michael, and my second favorite book is Infinite Jest.
I'm Rohan, and my second favorite book is Infinite Jest.
I am Colin, and my second favorite book is Infinite Jest.
I'm Charles, and my second favorite book is The Pale King.
Okay, buddy. you did not consider the lobster with that one. I really didn't.
Okay. Are both teams ready to begin?
Yeah.
Okay.
Good luck, guys.
Okay. Starting with toss-up 1. After being captured in this battle, Henry Morton Stanley became a galvanized Yankee. After this battle, Andrew Gold was stabbed with a penknife by Nathan Belford Forrest, who he shot into hit. Rohan G.
Shiloh.
Correct for power. Okay, moving on to bonuses. Answer the following about poetry in the color green for 10 points each. This Chilean poet of the heights of Machu Picchu wrote in green ink because he believed it to be the color of hope. In one work by this poet of 20 love poems and a song of despair, he laments, "In you everything sank."
Our answer is Neruda.
In this novel by Orhan Pamuk, Ka wrote 19 poems about the title Substance in a green notebook that is lost shortly after his death.
Our answer is Snow.
The main character of this novel by J.D. Salinger wrote poems in green ink on his brother Ali's baseball glove. That character, Holden Caulfield, wonders where the ducks in Central Park go in the winter and frequently complains of phonies.
Our answer is The Catcher in the Rye.
Correct for 30 on the bonus.
Big bar.
Okay, moving on to toss-up 2. In one novel, a member of this family asks a character frequently harassed by the foot-washing Baptist to marry him every Christmas. Another member of this family finds a pamphlet titled The Black Plague. Charles?
Finch.
Correct for power.
Quizbowl. On God.
Okay, bonus. The rape and immolation of the empress of one of these polities was later listed as one of the 15 reasons why one of its citizens, An Jung-gun, assassinated the other polity's first prime minister, Ito Hirobumi. For 10 points each, name these two polities, one of which occupied a peninsula and the other occupied a nearby archipelago. Soldiers from one of these polities revolted against Emperor Gozhang's concessions to the other in the Immo mutiny.
Yeah, I think it's Japan and Korea is our answer.
Japan influenced Gojong to enact the Gabo reforms, the most notorious of which involved cutting this body part worn in a Santu style by Korean males. The Qing dynasty forced males to wear this body part in the Q style.
Hair is our answer.
Japanese influence over Korea primarily affected the last few years of this Korean dynasty's reign. Sejong the Great is often considered the greatest ruler of this dynasty that succeeded the Goryeo.
Joseon is our answer.
That's correct for 30 on the bonus.
Nice.
Okay, moving on to toss-up 3. The second movement of one symphony in A minor features a bouncy clarinet theme that to represent a short, long rhythm called this country's snap. Rohan?
Scotland.
Correct for power. Bonus. The Western Wall is alternatively named for this figure for 10 points each. Name this religious figure who accompanies Muhammad on his night journey. This winged woman-headed figure is described as being larger than a donkey but smaller than a mule.
Our answer is Barak.
In preparation for the night journey, this figure embarrasses Barak, causing him to stand still and sweat profusely for long enough for Muhammad to mount him. This figure visited Muhammad in the cave of Hira in an event commemorated on the Night of Power.
Our answer is Gabriel.
During the night journey, Musa convinces Muhammad to ask Allah to reduce the number of mandatory prayers from 50 to this number. There are this many pillars in Islam.
Our answer is 5.
Correct for 30 on the bonus. Okay. Moving on to toss-up 4. Aside from the Berlin pedestal, this kingdom is first mentioned by name on a stone which claims it is laid waste, its seat is not. The Merneptah stele. Melander attested this kingdom's use of setters sent by its ally, Hiram of Tyre, is in various construction projects. This non-Persian kingdom's Book of Kings, Rohan G.
Like Phoenicia?
Neg 5. I'll continue. Book of Kings was compiled after its people's return from captivity in Babylon. Judah split with this kingdom after the death of a king who was visited by the Queen of Sheba and had earlier prayed for wisdom. For 10 points, there was kingdom ruled by David and Solomon, which biblical minimalists claim never existed. Rohan K.
Canaan.
Repeat.
Canaan.
Incorrect. Israel.
Wait, what?
Okay, I don't know.
Moving on to toss-up 5. In one story, this figure's sister built him a building with 70 doors and windows to view the stars during the winter. This figure prophesied that a tower collapsing was due to a pair of red and white dragons after he was Rohan G.
Berlin?
Power. Your bonus. This country's otaku subculture is often depicted in works from its super flat movement. For 10 points each, name this country, whose history of visual flatness traces back to Hokusai prints depicting 36 views of Mount Fuji.
Our answer is Japan.
This modern Japanese artist founded a super flat movement, but did not define it because he wanted to define itself. The character Mr. Dobb was created by this artist, who designed the cover art of Kanye West's album Graduation.
Our answer is Takashi Murakami.
Mr. Dobbs' first major appearance is in 727, in which he is on one of these natural phenomena. In an earlier artwork that inspired the cover of Claude Debussy's La Mer, Prussian blue is used to depict one of these phenomena.
A wave? Our answer is a wave.
30 on the bonus. Okay.
Let's go, guys. Big bar.
Moving on to toss-up 6. In February 2022, Nick is Kind of Strange posted a viral TikTok role-playing as this entity in which he tells the viewer, leave the girl, we don't need her, and we'll have cowboy times in space. That video was posted as a freestyle duet with a song by Salem Elise, which threatens to run this entity over with a car. It's not the Xbox Series X, but thousands of scalpers made this thing extremely difficult to purchase upon its release. Michael?
The PlayStation 5.
Correct for 10.
Yeah, nice.
Bonus. Answer the following about the computer memory hierarchy for 10 points each. These components are a smaller, faster memory located close to the CPU and include L1 and L2 levels. This term in general refers to any component that stores data so future requests can be served faster.
Cache.
These memory storing units are on top of a memory hierarchy and are used for rapid memory access. These units are faster and smaller than a cache.
Probably, I don't know, like register. Is this like a hardware question or
a register?
a register?
The most common type of temporary memory, RAM, stands for this kind of access memory. One can use a seed when generating numbers with this property.
Random.
30 on the bonus. Moving on to toss-up 7. A digital ammeter uses one of these devices as a shunt and a parameter in parallel with a voltmeter. A potentiometer is a variable 3-terminal variety of these devices. 3 of these devices are of known strength are connected in Michael?
A resistor.
Power.
Nice.
Good job.
Your bonus. The Mamluks forced this ruler to retire from crusading by having him stabbed with an allegedly poisoned dagger. For 10 points each, name this English king who defeated William Wallace at the Battle of Falkirk. He is often nicknamed for his long legs.
Edward Longshanks.
Is that final?
Yeah.
Edward conquered Wales after defeating a prince with this name, given the titles Ach Gruffydd and the Last.
Yeah.
Llewellyn is our answer.
After winning the Battle of Falkirk, Edward was nicknamed the Hammer of these people. Robert the Bruce was the king of these people who names the country of North of England.
Scott's final.
Yep, that's 30 on a bonus.
Left guys.
Moving on to toss-up 8. The main character of this play is dressed in a blue kimono by the housekeeper, Rohan G.
Shoot. A Streetcar Named Desire.
Neg 5.
Shoots.
by the housekeeper, Miss Pierce. Another character in this play is described as the most original Charles
Pygmalion.
Yeah.
Power.
Nice.
Good well, Quizbowl dudes.
Oh my gosh.
Your bonus. The speaker of one poem by this author tells the reader to hope your road is a long one in his poem, Ithaca. For 10 points each, named this poet who described the titular group as a kind of solution in Waiting for the Barbarians.
Cavafy.
Cavafy wrote in the modern form of this language. The ancient form of this language was used by Sophocles to write Oedipus Rex.
Our answer is Greek.
The modern Greek author Nikos Kazantzakis wrote a 33,333 line modern sequel to this ancient Greek work. The protagonist of this work uses the pseudonym Nobody to escape the cycle of Polyphemus.
Odyssey.
30 on the bonus.
Okay, cool. Let's go.
Toss up 9. One method of calculating this quantity has a constant term of 0.744 and involves taking the effective nuclear charge over the square of the covalent radius. Rohan G.
Electronegativity.
Power. Bonus. One disorder involving this substance can be treated using disulfiram. For 10 points each, name the substance which may cause cirrhosis of the liver. This substance is produced by yeast in fermentation.
Our answer is alcohol.
This enzyme produces actylaldehyde from the oxidation of ethanol. An overactive form of this enzyme causes flush in some East Asians.
Lactic acid dehydrogenase.
No. Are that the enzyme?
Yeah. Our answer is lactic acid dehydrogenase.
Alcohol dehydrogenase.
Oh my God.
In alcohol dehydrogenase overactivity, acetaldehyde is produced faster than it can be broken down into this weak acid with formula CH3COOH.
Our answer is acetic.
Yes, that's 20 and a bonus. Okay, toss up 10. This leader increased the power of his country's self-defense forces and supported the removal of Article 9 of his country's constitution. In September 2021, this leader gave a speech at a Unification Church event to which several members of his political party had controversial ties. Targeting an inflation rate of 2% was one of 3 arrows. Rohan G.
Abe.
Correct for 10. Bonus. This thinker wrote, "What benefits the enemy harms you" in one Socratic dialogue. For 10 points each, name this thinker who echoed Cicero's belief that many citizens have better judgment than a single dictator in his discourses on living.
Our answer is Machiavelli.
Machiavelli wrote, "It is better to be feared than loved" in this political treatise dedicated to Lorenzo de' Medici.
Our answer is the prince.
Machiavelli wrote that to gain power, one must beat and tame this Roman goddess. Boethius wrote that this goddess spun a wheel to determine fate of man in his consolation of philosophy.
Spun a wheel.
Hera for ruling, probably.
Our answer is Hera.
Fortuna.
Oh.
So that'll be 20 on the bonus, and that's a half.
Okay, at the half, we have a score of Barrington 175, Buffalo Grove 190.
Okay, so both teams ready now?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. Then I'll continue with toss-up 11. One dance from this ballet features 4 young ballerinas holding hands before breaking apart and attempting to fly. One performer in this ballet stands on point while performing. Charles?
Swan Lake.
Correct for power.
Nice.
Ballet is fun fact.
Bonus. Interest in a god with the head of this animal surged in the mid-2010s after its similarity to an online figure named Pepe was noted by denizens of 4chan. For 10 points each, a personification of primordial darkness, Keck, was often represented by this animal. In a Brother Grimm fairy tale, a prince transformed into this animal is restored to his human form after a kiss from a princess.
Frog.
Keck is a figure in the cosmology of this country's mythology. In another story from this country, a pregnant sky goddess gambles with the moon god Khonshu to add 5 extra days onto the year.
Khonshu, yeah, Japan.
Our answer is Japan.
I think it wasn't religion.
Japan. No, it was a country. Japan.
Answer?
Japan.
Egypt.
Oh, okay.
That aforementioned goddess was this star-covered deity whose relationship with Geb eventually produced the children Isis and Osiris, among others.
Yeah.
New.
Is that final?
Yeah.
20 on a bonus.
Nice. We didn't punt it too hard.
Okay, moving on to toss-up 12. One group named for this adjective terrorized West Germany during the German autumn. Rohan K.
Red.
We're sorry.
Red.
Power.
Red army faction.
Dude, he's so good at Quizbowl.
Bonus. This rule is violated by phosphorus pentachloride, which has 5 bonds around the central atom for 10 points each. Name this oft-violated rule in chemistry, which states that atoms seek to have 8 valence electrons.
Octet.
Phosphorus pentachloride has 10 valence electrons forming 5 bonds and no lone pairs, giving it this geometry. Equatorial and axial substituents in this geometry can be exchanged via the Berry-Sudatorian rotation.
The trigonal bipyramidal.
The fluorides of this unreactive element also violate the octet rule. Those fluorides of this element were synthesized by Neil Bartlett, who discovered this element could be ionized with platinum hexafluoride.
Xenon.
Yep, that's 30 on a bonus.
Good stuff. Rohan Quizbowl.
Okay, moving on to toss-up 13. One of these animals provides the title nickname for a taxi driver, Balram Hawaii, in a Rohan K.
Tiger.
Power.
That's help to read the book.
A bonus. Answer the following about the teachings of Black history in the United States. For 10 points each, this organization added an African American Studies class to the list of its advanced placement course offerings. This organization also administers this SAT.
It's called College Board.
The initiative developed by Nicole Hannah-Jones aims to frame American history through the focus of slavery. A curriculum was developed for this initiative, named for the year when African slaves first landed in Jamestown.
Project.
Repeat.
1619 project.
Critics of the 1619 Project note its basis in this theory, which holds that many American legal systems are inherently racist. Florida passed the Woke Act to prevent the teaching of this theory.
Critical race theory.
30 on a bonus.
Let's go.
Let's go. Keep going.
Okay. Moving on to toss-up 14. These structures can be arranged in umbels or corums. One of these structures' organs, identity genes, is agamis, an example of Mad's box gene. Rohan G.
Flowers.
Power. Bonus. Studies of mitochondrial DNA suggest that speakers of this language replaced the original population of Cabinda and mixed with the population of South Africa. For 10 points each, named as Niger Congolese language, whose speakers spread from Cameroon through sub-Saharan Africa in namesake migrations.
What are they asking for? Our answer is Bantu.
Some historians believe that the Bantu expansion was accelerated by the ability to make tools out of this metal. This metal names an age after stone and bronze.
Iron. Our answer is iron.
These tribes native to the Congo Basin were decimated by the Bantu expansion. These tribes include the Megbenga, Bibuti, Twa, and are named for their small size.
Our answer is villages.
African pygmies.
Oh, okay.
So 20 on a bonus.
Let's go.
Okay. Moving on to toss-up 15. A variant of this holiday celebrated in walled cities is called Shushan. One tradition on this holiday involves drinking enough that two phrases are unintelligible from each other. Triangular pastries in the shape of a vizier's hat are traditionally eaten on this holiday, and that man's name is drowned out by noisemakers called Rohan K.
Purim.
Yes, power.
Nice. Actually,
They're popping off.
Bonus. One character in this play is told that God abandoned heaven on the day of the 1906 San Francisco earthquake. For 10 points each, named as Tony Kirshner play in which Joe Pitt is discovered to be homosexual, but a palladium addict Harper.
Angels in America.
The closeted homosexual Roy Kahn contracts this disease in Angels in America, which he dies of despite of his huge supply of AZT.
AIDS.
This nurse chides Roy Cohn for not sharing his hoard of AZT. This ex-drag queen is a former lover of Prior Walter.
Sure.
Belize.
30 on a bonus.
I are white.
Okay, moving on to toss-up 16.
Do you want a score check?
Oh, yeah, sure.
So after 15 toss-ups, we have Barrington 345, Buffalo Grove 225.
Okay.
And we have to $5.
Yeah.
Come on, let's go.
Okay, moving on to toss-up 16. These animals are sold on a road in front of the Salpetriere Asylum in a painting by Rosa Bonheur. Charles from Barrington.
Horses.
Power.
Oh, nice.
Bonus. Vincenzo and Michael Agno Galileo's father and brother, were virtuosi on this instrument for 10 points each. Name this plucked instrument with a pear-shaped body and crooked neck. John Dolan wrote "Flow My Tears" for this instrument.
Is it lute?
It might be
No,
like
is it lute or man? I'm pretty sure it's
lute. It's
pear
probably
shape.
lute.
Lute?
The lute.
William Beard composed 42 pieces for this class of instruments in my Leila Neville book. The virginal is a smaller version of one instrument in this class that uses levers and a pick to pluck strings.
Like stringed.
No, wait, no.
It's
It's
no
not
class of
class.
instruments.
No, it's not gonna be one of them.
Like percussion.
Like
No, I don't know. Just
Answer:
guitar.
keyboard.
Oh,
John Dowland and William Beard composed Renaissance lute music in this country. William Beard and Thomas Tallis were granted a monopoly on polyphonic music in this country by Elizabeth I.
England.
Yes, that's 20 on bonus. Okay. Moving on to toss-up 17.
I know.
The hyperbolic form of this function plots the shape of a catenary curve. Michael.
Cosine.
Power. Bonus. Penny Dreadfuls were originally meant to emulate or straight up plagiarize works in this genre, like The Monk, for 10 points each. Named this genre characterized by haunting horror stories often set in castles. This genre was pioneered by Anne Radcliffe's Mysteries of Udolpho in Horace Walpole's Castle of Otranto.
Gothic.
Sorry?
Gothic.
The Penny Dreadful, the String of Pearls, introduced this character who gives his victims to Mrs. Lovett to make meat pies. This demon barber of Fleet Street titles a Stephen Sondheim musical.
Sweet.
Sondheim musical.
Sweet time.
Yes. Massive Penny Dreadful is titled for Varney being one of these creatures. Bram Stoker's Dracula is one of these blood-sucking creatures.
Vampire.
30 on a bonus. Okay, moving on to toss-up 18. The last member of this country's indigenous Tanaru tribe, who was protected by a designated territory in the state of Randonia, died in August 20. Rohan G. Yes, power. Your bonus. Answer some questions about the motion of pendulums for 10 points each. The simple harmonic type of this type of motion is exemplified by the motion of pendulums. This term is used to refer to motion that is periodic.
Oscillation. Our answer is oscillation.
In this process, the external force, such as friction, slows down the oscillation of a pendulum, eventually causing it to stop. Taipei 101 contains an enormous steel ball that is tuned to the tower's resonant frequency to perform this process.
Quenching. Our answer is quenching.
Damping.
Damping, right.
Description acceptable. When finding the period of a pendulum, the angle between the equilibrium point and the pendulum string is assumed to be close to 0, allowing for this approximation to be made. This approximation sets a trig function equal to its first order Maclaurin series.
Our answer is small angle.
Yes, that's 20 on a bonus. Okay, moving on to toss-up 19. The people of this empire let all sacred fires burn out every 52 years for a new fire ceremony. Rohan K.
Aztec.
Repeat.
Aztec.
Power.
Shush.
Your bonus. This man directed a film based on a Ted Chiang short story called Story of Your Life for 10 points each. Named as director of Rival. Ryan Reynolds played the character K in another film by this director that is sequel to a 1982 Ridley Scott film.
Like,
Is it
Blade
just
Runner
Steel?
2049?
Yeah, just
who wrote
No.
Blade Runner?
wait, go, yeah, maybe. I mean,
I don't think he did Arrival.
Answer?
Spielberg.
Who?
Spielberg.
No. Denis Villeneuve.
Oh, he did that!
Villeneuve directed this movie based on a Frank Herbert novel. Timothy Chalamet played the character of Paul Atreides in this movie, which centers on conflict of the spice-producing planet Arrakis.
That's Dune, right?
Yeah,
Dune.
This actor plays Leto, the father of Paul Atreides. This actor also played the role of the fighter pilot Poe Dameron in the Star Wars sequel trilogy.
I have no idea who did that. Charles Young.
Idris Elba.
Oscar Isaac.
Darn.
Oh, bro has 2 first names.
For real.
So that's 10 on a bonus.
That was not pretty.
Okay, moving to toss up the last. One character in this novel has an affair with the repulsive Charlie Holmes, who is later discovered to have died in Korea. This novel's foreword includes the death of Mrs. Schiller. Rohan G.
Lolita.
Power.
Damn.
Bonus. After this case, a president apocryphally said John Marshall has made his decision. Now let him enforce it for 10 points each. Name the Supreme Court case that held that individual states have no authority to negotiate with Native American nations.
Sister. Our answer is Worcester v. Georgia.
This president declined to recognize the decision of Worcester v. Georgia. The Indian Removal Act was passed under this president, who split the Democratic Republican Party with his election in 1828.
Our answer is Jackson.
Andrew Jackson had also opposed this tribe's existence during a war started at Negro Fort. This tribe was led by Osceola at the Battle of Lake Okeechobee.
Our answer is Seminole.
Correct for 30 on a bonus. And that's the game.
Okay, I have a final score of Barrington with 450 and Buffalo Grove with 305.
Very good game.
Good game.